It's time for Inside the Patch with your Las Vegas Raiders. Here's Gnarley Charley.
Welcome to Inside the Patch. It's ESPN 1430, your Valley local sports leader. Now, Mitch Adams is here today. I'm Gnarley Charley, and we've been discussing how we want to handle all our facial hair for the end of the season. Are we going to go? It's inside the patch, or maybe it's inside the soul patch? Are we going to go beard? Are we going beard?
I'm going full beard. I didn't know if this is great, but it's been a while. But I'm letting it go.
Well, here's the thing, and we all know this, that we have to win every game from now on, all the way to the Super Bowl. That's it. There's no more losing games.
There's no next week. We'll get them next week.
Yeah. So
we got to get them this week.
Yeah, so Devontae's got 2 Taco Bells this year. He's ready to roll. I'm excited. I'm excited about the fact that we're not mathematically out of it. That's what I'm excited about. You know?
Yeah. And if you look at the AFC playoff picture, it may only take 2 wins and some good luck.
It's all over the place.
Santa's coming. Yeah, I'm talking to Santa right now. Hey, we need you to put some coal in the stocking of the Bengals, of the Browns, of the Steelers. Just a whole bunch of teams that needs coal.
That's right.
We might find our way in there.
Well, coal and black hole, they rhyme. And you can make diamonds out of coal. So I'm down with that too.
Yeah.
Man, so here we go. It's that time. We're playing the Chiefs. I'm not as scared of the Chiefs. In fact, we can't be. We just gotta go.
I didn't do a whole lot of after Thursday night's game, I'm still a little. My head is still spinning. It's like that was like I exuded so much energy in that game that I'm exhausted, and I still feel exhausted. And then there was so much football this weekend. Oh my goodness! It was almost like overkill.
Mitch, I know you and I have been to a bunch of Raider games before, and a lot of players. I can't believe 63 is the most. It was better than any game we've ever played.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of so many points. You can't keep it down. Come on,
right? You can't.
It was 9 touchdowns, man.
Yeah,
9. And I thought we might get more, but I got greedy. It's like, give us more. Let's go for the record, not just the Raider record, the NFL record.
So we are playing for Antonio Pierce's life. Also, I think.
Yes.
I don't think I don't know how that works. If he doesn't get the head coaching job, does he leave?
Most times when coaches have the interim tag put on them, and then it gets given to someone else. 9 times out of 10, they don't stay.
Right.
Occasionally, I've seen where that person has stayed with the organization, but in most cases, they're gone somewhere else. And I really don't want to see that happen. This guy's really shown his true colors, which are silver and black, and that he's a Raider at heart. And he's going to give it his all. And when you see your coach doing that, because this is the team he grew up watching. As a player, you have to do it. I've been watching the Deion Sanders Prime thing on Prime, and just what he's looking to. They said he's not a pusher; he's a puller. He's going to pull you to where he wants you to be. He's not going to push you.
Right.
And Antonio Pierce is in that same mold. He's pulling these players. Let's go. Follow me. Let's do this. Get to where I am, and they just need to buy in. And I really do think if we play these next 3 games, Kansas City, I always want to say Baltimore, but it's Indianapolis Colts, and then back home for the Broncos.
Yeah,
and the Broncos are sitting 1 game in front of us. We've already beaten them once. They're
a different team.
It to them again.
They're a different team too, and
they are.
But right now, it's about let's focus on these Colts, and let's just.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Don't focus on the Colts. Chefs. So, I haven't listened to Taylor Swift all week. Actually, all year. It was actually for years. But I don't know, man. I'm excited. I want the challenge. I don't want us to come off after 11-day absence, be flat,
I think it's just going to be getting healthy. Crosby's going to be 100. Well, I won't say 100%, but he's going to be back at a level that Nobody wants to see that. And then you have Kuntz coming off the other side, who's playing terrific ball right now.
Yeah.
So put that on either side. I mean, who do you block?
Right.
You don't block both. You can't block both of them.
Right.
And if you do this, then you'll get pressure up the middle. I feel really good. There was a time that KC scared me, but their receiving core outside of their tight end, Kelsey, all world, maybe the best I've ever seen. Outside of him, who do they have? This guy, Kadarius Toney, man, he may as well be wearing other teams' colors because he's not doing them any favors. And I certainly hope that he has an affinity for the Raiders this week and puts on a little silver and black and helps us as well because he's been messing up, and we just need him to do it 3 more weeks.
Max Crosby says, whoever wants it wins it, and he wants it. And you believe him, and you see it, and it's infectious. It's like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for our defense. I'm so excited to be relevant,
Yeah, being relevant is very nice. I had a friend call me after Thursday's game. He said, when I saw O'Connell early in the season, he said, discounting the preseason, he said, he got rid of the ball. He said, but he got sacked a lot. He said, but what I saw Thursday night was a guy that has picked up a little poise and is more aware in that pocket, and he's delivering that ball or he's getting rid of it. And I do think that he's going to stand in there and deliver that ball because he has great skill position players that are actually doing it. And that offensive line held up very nicely against the Chargers. So outside of Chris Jones for the Chiefs, I think we can handle these guys, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think they know they can handle them.
Yeah. So I thank you again for sending me that footage of, we were talking about the Marshawn Lynch. I don't even know what you call that. The dreads dance. I don't know. But then Devontae Adams was doing the same thing kind of in that honor. And
Just
I was like,
shaking my hair.
You have to help me out because I'm kind of caught up here with mucus.
That's okay, man. Well, we look at our remaining schedule. We already talked about that, but Kansas City, they've got a pretty easy way the rest of the season other than what we have this weekend. On Christmas Day against the Raiders. And I've asked Santa, I said, I need one thing this Christmas, and that is a victory on Christmas Day, and then let the chips fall where they may. But they have the Raiders, then the Bengals, and then the Chargers. Bengals could play them tough, but they are playing a backup quarterback, and as will the Chargers. We'll see what happens there. But then we have to also worry about the Broncos. They've got the Patriots this week, and then the Chargers, and then at the Raiders. So each of them, looking at their schedules, looks not too daunting, but any given Sunday.
It's funny.
Any given Sunday.
When Sean Payton is screaming at Russell Wilson, as a they're rivals to us, I kind of liked it. I was like, oh, look at them falling apart. Payton was just grilling Russell Wilson.
Oh boy, I was like, oh my God, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It all depends. How does that guy take that? How does Russell Wilson take that?
He looked like he was cowering. It looks like there's obviously problems going on there.
Do you check out for the rest of the season? Like, screw this guy.
I think he's done as a Bronco. That's what I think.
Yeah, quite possibly.
And the AFC West is going to change again. It sure would be nice to take out a Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. That would be so nice. That would just set the tone for Christmas.
Oh my God! You know what? That's going to set the tone for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
it's a 10 a.m. game. I'll have on my brand new jammies, sitting near the fire, a cup of coffee, and I'll just be in front of the TV. And if anyone asks what I'm doing Christmas morning, from 10 to 1 Pacific time, I know what I'm doing.
What's funny is
these guys
we kind of messed up in the fact that we didn't take all the way. We're just good enough to where if we do end up losing, it doesn't help. We're in the middle of the pick,
Right.
So we might as well just go for the Super Bowl. It's like there's no good coming out of losing these last couple games, so we might as well just do it.
It's win or go home. That's really the bottom line. Because you're not making the playoffs. We're 6-8 right
6
now.
and 8. We need to get to 9.
We need 3. I'd love to finish 9-8.
Yeah,
and see what happens. That would be awesome. Because if you could finish the season on a winning streak with 9 wins, that's possibly good enough to make it into a wild card round, and then let the chips fall where they may. But it certainly would give us something to build upon moving into next year. Although we don't want to look that far in advance. But you're right. If we lose now, we're not going to get one of those quarterbacks because they're gone in the first 10 picks. We'd be the middle of the pack. And,
right.
And then it's a coin flip.
I got a throwback question for you. I was talking to some kids, and I said, like, at some point you just become seared as a fan. What's your Raider moment in your lifetime, whether it was an uncle or brother or just something that you knew, I'm a Raider fan for life? Was it a certain event that happened? Or
I would hear my dad cursing every Sunday. And not to give how old I am, but this is a long time ago because the Raiders were really good in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
7 out of 9 championship
Monday Night
games.
Football, we were the winningest team. It was all kinds of crazy.
Yeah. And every Sunday, and as a kid, you always want to, what's Dad up to? And he's always glued to the TV on Sunday. And I'd hear him cursing, and then there would be this elation, and then he would but for the most part he was always happy. So it's just making Dad so happy. And then through young 5, 6, 7 years old, and then by the time I was 8 I knew the players.
You knew names.
I'm watching games, and then I remember we went to a preseason game up at Cal Berkeley.
Ooh, nice.
And Harold Hart, I remember my brother was like, I have a twin brother. He's hanging over the rail, and Harold takes his helmet and bumps his helmet into my brother's hand. He's like, that's my favorite player. And then as kids, we had our little Raider uniforms, little plastic helmets, shoulder pads. I had number 44. I was Marv Hubbard, and Richard had 77. And, later on, that was Charles Filia, and then
Alzado eventually.
Alzado, but I think back 77 back then, it wasn't Filia. I'd have to go look, but I knew that I was Marv. Yeah. And by the time I got to my 4th grade, I knew football frontwards and backwards. And then we had season tickets as a family on the 40-yard line. And
wow,
there were so many great moments of going to all of those games. And then in high school, because I'd want to go to all the games, and Dad would have to switch off between the kids. I got a job as a vendor in the stands, so I'm selling hot dogs.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I've been around the Raiders for so long, and then I worked for them for 16 seasons, and I've been to hundreds of Raider games in my lifetime, and I can't pick one moment. It's so hard to do because there's so many great moments. And
I guess it's like asking me, hey, when did you learn how to talk? It just kind of happened. All these things added up to that.
It did. It would be different. Like if I moved to a different city now.
Right.
I was looking for a team, and then there was this great Hail Mary play at the end of the thing. And I was sitting there, and I'm caught on camera, and I'm like, that's the moment I became a fan. But for me, being a fan, born into it. So there was no moment. It just happened.
Right. Yeah.
And then to meet the guys that did it that I remember as a child, and then they would tell me the stories about that play or that game. Man, it was magical.
Yeah.
I remember first coming in and, Rod Martin greeting me. This after I met him, and I'm running a program at USC, and Rod Martin calling me on the phone and greeting me and accepting me into the Trojan family. Wow. And I was running a program there with Pete Carroll, and I remember shaking my head like,
how did this happen? Yeah.
This is magical. A lot of people would pay big money to do this stuff. Yeah. And here I am smack dab in the middle of it. So it's just my life, man. Just like I have fingers I'm a Raider fan. It would be odd if I wasn't a fan. And people said, why don't you switch? You still live in the Bay Area. There's another team there. I'm like,
nah.
You don't choose your family. It just happens. I choose my friends, and some of them I switch from time to time, but the Raiders are family, man. That you just can't get rid of it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, so we've got the Chiefs this week. And I think beyond just the Chiefs, having a perfect rotation basketball would be a great stocking stuffer. You know, it is a basketball training device. Look at this thing.
It fell on the floors.
I heard it. I hear the rotation.
Perfect rotation.
Explain it, how it works. How it works.
The patented channels are for finger placement because at the end of a shot, you have a finger flick at the end of your shot. But a lot of kids don't know how to do it. But if you give them, they just push it. But if you teach them at a young age how to flick it,
the rotation.
When they grab a regular ball, their fingertips will already be trained to be in that motion or that in that process to flick it on the release. And then they'll be flicking the regular basketball and getting that perfect rotation when it goes through the basket.
So if I go to perfectrotation.com, I put in the code Raiders, I get a discount.
30%.
I like that. All right, 30%. We got the Chiefs. We're going to beat the Chiefs. We're going to have a perfect rotation there. And I can't wait to talk to you on Christmas morning and smiling, okay?
Hey, look, this is 1 o'clock Pacific. This is what I'm going to be doing.
That's right. I can't wait.
Gnarly, we did it, babe. We're still mathematically still alive, and all those other teams got coal for Christmas.
We're not done. All right,
we're not done.
With more Inside the Patch, Mitch Adams from perfectrotation.com. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all.
We'll be back with more Inside the Patch on 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas Raiders.